So when we study the previous nations, because the previous nations, mostly on the eastern side, were known to be ideational cultures. So what is ideational cultures? Ideational cultures is actually otherworldly or mystical in nature. So in that studies, we found that even in Sufism, we have different bodies. There's one part of the body, the physical body, that we see, and then there are other parts of the body that you don't really see, which is ghaib. So in the Sufi system, they have the physical shell, the ultric shell, they call it the ultric body, and then the psychic, the astro-psychic, and then it goes to the astral body and then to the soul. So basically there are 5 shells. Even if we were to look into the yogic or the Vedic system, which I like to use more because it's a more simplified version to talk about, they got the physical shell, the pranic shell. Pranic is the vital energy which is linked to electric current, and then the mano, which is the mind shell that involves the mind, emotions, your ego nature, the I in you, and the intelligence, the discriminatory faculty, and of course the other shells, the wisdom shells and the unconscious state, which is linked to the bliss body. So each of these bodies actually affect one another. Now, does it make sense talking about all these bodies? Of course. They termed it, coined it according to their own language and own perception of their time. If you look at light, there's visible light, light that we can see. And this light has, if you use a prism, you break it up, you will find there are 7 different colors relating to it. Just like the human body, the physical body, if you break it up, if you go into it, break it up, get into the subtle body, you will see 7 chakras or 7 subtle centers. So light itself is a visible and the 7 rays, and then there are other invisible parts of light or body or shell, if you want to call it, which are the ultraviolet rays, X-rays, gamma rays, and so on. And even in science, there's potential energy and kinetic energy, and there are also 5 energies which involve radiational energy, thermal energy, sound energy, mechanical energy. So we can see that fundamentally, wherever culture we go to, even in our modern time, there are bodies other than the physical body which are in the unseen dimensions. And all these bodies has to fast, not only the physical system, because when we eat, whatever food we eat that integrates into our body is connected to our breath. Our breath starts to fluctuate even higher. When the breath fluctuates even higher, the vibrations in the mind also fluctuates. But when we start to empty this physical shell through fasting, we are also starting to purify, empty that pranic self or the electric body. The electric body is within every atom. If you break up an atom, there's protein, neutron, and electric. So it is, we are a creator of atoms, so there is these shells within us. So when we empty that, the mind fluctuations and the vibrations also lessens, because as long as the mind is fluctuating, we cannot come to God consciousness. We are always forgetting God. So that's why Allah said in the Quran that if you remember me, I will remember you. So it's a very interesting statement. Something to do with your consciousness. In Islam, we are taught to pray where there are no images in front of us, no idols. We are taught to pray in total sacred space. And if we study spiritual institutions, all of them will come, in the end, will come into that space, the sacred space. Well, for prophets, where there's revelation coming down, God told him to start from that empty space. Now, we have to empty the space within us. In the Upanishad, there is a verse where it is said that the space outside, the universe outside is large, but the space within you is even larger. And that space is within the heart and the mind. So when we start fasting, emptying this physical shell, purifying the pranic shell, the images in the mind, which is always being reflected, also ceases. And when these images start ceasing, the thought process also lessens, and you start to realize this emptiness within. So now you're going to pray and fast with the emptiness outside, at the same time emptiness within. The idols of all desires become less, and of course the images are annihilated. So in that moment we tend to realize there's a silence within that space, and the silence will lead you to the presence, God consciousness. So that's the reason why spiritual people always love to fast, because they like to break patterns. They don't like to stick to a certain pattern. They keep breaking patterns because they don't want to be enslaved by this conditioning of the mind and body. So they want to have mastery over themselves. And fasting, as what Allah said in the Quran, is one of the best ways to attain God consciousness, ihsan. So I hope this month will be a fruitful month for you, and I hope you will have a wonderful fasting month. Thank you so much.